Hello there, Theater Director.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi, doing well. How are you?
I'm okay.
Hey, yeah, sorry about last week. I,
It's okay.
I yeah, uh, Katie and Peter were nice enough to host the watch along for the Beekeeper for last Tuesday in honor of to honor me on my birthday, and
Got it.
I couldn't resist. I couldn't miss out. Sorry.
I got you.
Thank you. We will be expecting others to join us soon.
Okay.
They're just going to take their time to get. They'll be taking their time to get ready.
Okay, cool.
Yes. Now, meantime, how long have you guys been hanging out in the chats over your place?
On where? On YouTube?
Yeah, I've been watching your clips, and you've had quite the party and the gathering with you, you know, with you all this time, discussing a
Oh,
lot about not only the Snyderverse but also Marvel and more bigger of all the Transformers favorites franchise too.
yeah. Yeah, I talk a little bit about everything, so mainly
Yeah, I was
yeah, those are some
yeah,
of
I'm a huge fan of Michael Bay too.
nice, nice. Which is your favorite film?
Revenge of the Fallen because it
Nice.
brings us deeper into the lore of the Transformers in live action.
Yeah, yeah. It was really good.
Yep, really good. The 2000s had really good movies too.
Yeah. It would be
Hmm.
nice if we got some more of those live actions. I really prefer those. They're just more entertaining compared to where we're at right now.
Hmm. Yeah,
Don't get me wrong, the new stuff is it's okay, but it's just it's missing something. It's not like it used to
yeah,
be.
yeah. It's been missing a lot of the tone.
Yeah.
Yeah, even yeah. Anyway, also what came about in the 2000s were the Ghost Rider films, but we're not just talking about the films. We're also talking about the lore of the Ghost Rider tonight.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, Parker. Hey there, buddy.
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm gonna be expecting more guests to join in.
Okay, cool.
Anyway, meantime, we should probably start now while we can and get this party started.
All right, cool.
But we're gonna start from the beginning, and you see, hang on. Oh dear, sorry about that.
It's all
Huh.
right.
We're gonna start from where it began with the Ghost Rider XP. Recognize this? The Phantom Rider.
I'm not really too familiar with Ghostrider, so you're gonna have to excuse me on that one. I just know him by like from here and there, but I'm not like really too familiar with that character.
Well, I'm glad I. Well, I can. Well, I can show you while we're here.
Cool.
Anyway, now it all at first the original Ghost Rider was called the Phantom Rider, who also goes by the name Carter Slade.
Okay.
Yeah, Carter. Yeah. Now let me get the screen up. Yeah. All right. Here we are. Carter Slade, Earth 616. The Phantom. Let's start. Let's start here on this history. Carter Slade was born and raised in Ohio in the mid 19th century, along with his brother Lincoln. Eventually, Carter decided to move out west to the new territories in order to become school a school teacher at the new settlement in Bison Bend of Montana. However, when he early arrived, he came upon a group of what appeared to be Indians slaughtering helpless homesteaders. Though it was untrained, he was untrained in using a gun. He had been a boxing champion in college, and at any rate, he could not allow such an atrocity to go unchallenged. Riding into the fray, he discovered the attackers were not Indians, but rather white men dressed up to a oh boy, to appear as Indians. They they were cattle hustlers upset at settlers coming in and taking what they regarded as their land. Despite government's role in placing settlers, though he fought bravely, Carter was eventually defeated, shot multiple times, and slowly dying from his injuries. It was then that Jamie Jacobs, the teenage son of the settlers who had been murdered, emerged from his injury. It was then that Jamie Jacobs, the teenage son of the settlers who had been murdered, emerged from his hiding place and found him, surmising what had happened. Jamie managed to get Carter onto a horse and set out to find help. However, he was traveling in the wrong direction and after many long hours collapsed to the ground. However, a group of friendly Indians had been watching and took Jacobs and Slade to their medicine man, Flaming Star. Flaming Star had many years before and seen a shooting star fall from the sky, bringing with it a bounty of phosphorescent dust. Flaming Star took this as a sign from the Great Spirit and learned that a champion would one day be sent to him to fight injustice using glowing dust and a special kepi he had prepared. Flaming Star prayed, chanted, and prepared potions and herbs for 3 days, but was about to give up on Carter when suddenly Carter's fever broke and he awoke. He seemingly fully restored to health. It was then that Flaming Star realized Carter Slade was the champion sent to him to fight injustice. He gave Carter the cloak he had fashioned, which was reversible and had a pitch black light lining to complement the bright white outer side. He also gave Carter all the phosphorescent dust and led him to an untamable white horse that Carter managed to secure, which he named Banshee for its distinctive nod. Huh, yeah. And Carter then created an entire costume to complement the cloak and horse, and christened himself the Ghostrider, though he later others began calling him other names, such as Night Rider and the Phantom Rider. His first act as the Phantom Rider was to bring the men responsible for killing James Jacobs' parents to justice, a group of cattle herders led by a man named Jason Bartholomew. He then set about helping the folks of Bison Bend erect a schoolhouse and took Jamie under his wing and as his ward adopted son. Over the next decade, Carter Slade rode the West, fighting evil with Bison Bend and his base of operations, fighting and defeating a number of would-be criminals, including the Stingray, who formerly had fought the Rawhide Kid under the name Scorpion. In time, Carter began to fall in love with a young woman by the name of Natalie Brooks, sister to the sheriff, Ben Brooks. However, any relationship between them was complicated by the fact that Ben actually believed the Phantom Rider was to be an evil man, bent on taking over the territory. Additionally, Natalie was engaged to be married to a man named Clay Riley, whom Slade would eventually find out was the criminal known as the Tarantula. Ah, As as the tarantula, Riley dressed up in purplish black, and used an 8-headed bullwhip as his weapon of choice. He and the rider clashed multiple times, eventually to a confrontation that would change Carter's life. Carter had decided to visit Ben Brooks in the form of Phantom Rider to try and convince him he was in error to believe the rider to be evil. However, at the same time, the tarantula set fire to several local buildings, and in the chaos, Natalie ran to her brother's home and warned him what was happening. Ben Brooks tried to use the destruction as a chance to shoot and kill the rider, but Natalie, whose life had been saved several times by Slade and the defense, jumped between the two men. Sheriff Brooks instinctively fired at his gun into motion and shot Natalie, severely severing her spinal cord. She was eventually stabilized, but unless she received emergency surgery in Denver, which determined she would never walk again. Ben Brooks and Clay Riley then set out with Natalie in tow, unknowingly being followed by Carter Slade. En route, Carter was attacked and knocked unconscious by a deluded old man who lived in the mountains. This man was also found Brooks and Riley and was about to kill them when he saw Natalie. In the madness, he mistook her for his wife, who had died over 10 years ago, and kidnapped her. In his absence, Carter switched to his Phantom Rider outfit and was able to thwart the crazy man. However, in the struggle of one of the beams of the old man's old home again, to cave in. He threw himself under it and saved Natalie from death, still believing her to be his long-dead wife. Riley, despite the Phantom Rider's benevolent actions in the struggle, seemed poised to attack when the Rider lifted Natalie up and left with her. Slade then took her to his stagecoach and set out for Denver to pick Natalie for surgery. Wow, wow, that's quite a lot. Huh. Oh, hey there. Welcome, Captain Kelly. Got some guys that hang out with me on Discord.
Oh,
Parker,
nice.
on the other hand, he sure likes to hang out with you and other guys who speak out against the studios, I can tell you that.
That's good.
Yeah, he's quite funny too. Anyway, he was stopped again by an encounter with Hurricane, an outlaw possessing super. Yeah, he was stopped again by an encounter with Hurricane, an outlaw possessing super speed granted to him by an Indian special potion. Hurricane discovered Slade's secret identity and was poised to slay both him and Natalie. Carter was found and thrown from a cliff, but cruciously the rope snagged the cliff on the way down, and Carter made his way back up. This time as the Phantom, he defeated the Hurricane by using his special lantern to project an image of himself out in empty air to give the illusion of being a real ghost. Hurricane charged at the apparition and fell headlong off the cliff, seemingly to his death. Uh, on reaching Denver, Natalie underwent surgery and regained the ability to walk, where Riley and don the garb Taranto in order to commit more crimes to pay for the surgery and the trip when he was stopped by Slade as the Phantom Rider. Two fought hard, eventually tumbling over a cliff in the body of water below. Riley had been unmasked by the Rider and had intended to bring him to justice. However, the fall injured both men. Riley hit and gave Riley amnesia. Ben Brooks came upon them and shot the Rider in the shoulder, but Slade managed to escape when Brooks went to check on Riley. All parties then returned to Fires and Ben. At some undisclosed point before his death, Slade also helped stop a band of owl hoots from robbing a train. Slade used his Fly Rat of the Night, a rope painted black so as to be. Hang on. Yeah, I think we're getting some other things too. Granted the illusion of love. Grant the illusion of to suspend the ringleader in midair when he attempted to escape his own execution for the crime. The sheer fright of the rider's spooked act caused his heart to fail, and he died. However, those watching mistakenly believed the rider had hung him. Slade himself believed this too, and decided to end his career as the Phantom Rider. Ben Brooks also had become increasingly suspicious of the similarities between Slade's appearance in certain places. At the same time, as the Phantom Rider was known to be around and was on the verge of discovering this when Jamie Jacobs and a boy saved from the train robbery used trickery and lantern protection to make three different Phantom Riders. disappear in the presence of Brooks and Slade both. Jacobs then told Carter it wasn't his fault the criminal had died, and he again donned the garb of the Phantom Rider. Around the same time, Slade, who had archaeological interests, traveled to Mexico to investigate the so-called Temple of Quetzalcoatl. He was assisted by two brothers, Paco and Enrique Montoya, the former which was actually El and a known band of mercenaries led by a man named El Cojo. The mercenaries turned on Slade. Oh, what was that? The mercenaries turned on Slade and the brothers and attempted to kill them, inadvertently setting off booby traps within the temple and triggering volcanic eruption. Fighting together, Slade as the Phantom Rider and Paco as El Cojo, the mercenaries met their end at the temple was buried forever. On returning to Montana, Slade discovered a bounty had been placed on his alter ego by Sheriff Brooks and the bounty hunter known as Gunhawk, whom the rider had previously saved from being killed by a non-name outlaw and had come to town to claim the bounty. In the ensuing firefight, however, Gunhawk and Ghostrider wound up fighting together against a group of would-be bank robbers, and the rider again saved Gunhawk's life by a robber Gunhawk had dangerously turned his back on. Gunhawk left the town with a parting shot to Sheriff that the Phantom Rider was clearly being unfairly accused, attacked by Brooks. Slade's final adventure as a living began when his brother, U.S. Marshal Lincoln Slade, came to town. Slade was investigating a series of disappearances that had struck Bend, wherein every notable man in town, except for Carter and the new preacher, Reverend Rasper, had gone missing. Lincoln felt the Reverend would need the, the next target and so kept an eye on him. It turned out that the Reverend was in fact the leader of the gang, and Lincoln followed him to his hideout, where Sheriff Brooks and the other men of Bend were found. Lincoln Slade began fighting the Reaper gang when Carter, the Phantom Rider, showed up and joined in. They managed to free Brooks and the others and had defeated all of the gang except for the Reaper himself. In a last-ditch attempt to save himself, Reverend Reaper shot out a wooden crossbeam, holding the cave ceiling up, causing tons of rock and earth to begin sliding towards Lincoln Slade. The Phantom Rider then hurled himself at his brother to save, succeeding in doing so, but wound up crushed by the avalanche himself. Oh, mm, oh,
I have a question.
yes,
So with all this, like in the comics, how does that really connect or like explain a lot, like what we saw with the movie, the one with what was it with Nicolas Cage?
well, well, not all of it, not really. Th-
For the most
This is
part, at least for
well,
the most part.
yeah, but the Ghost Rider that helped Nicolas Cage's character learn the basics of being the supernatural super vigilante was also the same one we're looking over. Just that the main difference between him and between Carter Slade in the movie and him in the comics is that Carter Slade's version of Ghost Rider is also the kind that flames up just like Johnny Blaze. Here, he's
Mm.
mostly someone who uses some kind of special dust of some kind to make himself, I don't know, something interesting where he's
Oh,
like a phantom. Yeah, now. Lincoln heard a voice coming from the rubble and pulled the rider free. When the rider asked him to remove his mask, beside was his own brother, Carter. Carter said goodbye and then died. Lincoln took his brother's body, stripped the costume from it, and returned to Bison Bend where he was buried. Jamie Jacobs attempted to take over as the Phantom Rider was killed in his first outing, and although initially hesitant, Lincoln Slade decided to don the costume as the new Phantom Rider. However, Lincoln slowly began going crazy when the West Coast Avengers time traveled back to the Old West. He, he, he kidnapped and drugged the Avenger Mockingbird, wife of Hawkeye. Hawk, Mockingbird eventually broke out of his influence and battled atop and allowed Lincoln Slade to fall to his death when she could have saved him. The series of events eventually wound up affecting Carter Slade even in death. Lincoln's spirit took over his great-great-grandson Hamilton's body on occasions when evil loomed near, but his spirit was still crazed, and when he became aware of Mockingbird's presence in the present, he began using Hamilton to harass. After nearly beating the poor man to death, Hamilton had no recollection of anything Lincoln did using his body. She discovered he was not to blame. Unbeknownst to any of them, when Carter Slade's spirit became aware of what Lincoln was doing to Hamilton, who was also Carter's great-great-grandnephew, his spirit also took residence within Hamilton to try and drive off Lincoln's negative influence. Eventually, the demonologist Damien Hellstrom used his power to drive both spirits from Hamilton's body. Carter's spirit subdued Lincoln, and Hellstrom was about to banish both to another dimension for eternity when in, interceded on behalf of Uncle and willed Carter to enter his body just before the moment of banishment, transforming Hamilton into the present-day Phantom Right. However, Carter's spirit, being benevolent, did not use or control Hamilton. Instead, Carter merely granted Hamilton the powers of the Phantom Rider and assisted him. Wow, what do you know? Okay, continue. After Hamilton Slade's death, Carter's spirit was next seen during the War of the Realms when evading the forces of the Queen Extenders. Thor's sister, Lauza, summoned a demon rider, the Sorcerer Supreme from the 1800s, for protection. Demon Rider, in turn, called the spirits of other heroes from her time to pledge their allegiance to Lauza. The spirits encountered Lauza's protectors, her babysitters club, in the Wild West-themed amusement park, Six Gun Territory. A fight broke out since the spirits couldn't properly communicate their intention, until Druid's magic allowed him to understand that Lauza was the reason for their presence. After Kushala made herself present and clarified the undead warriors' intended assist in the War of the Realms, they all rode out of town to take part in the conflict's final battle. That's how much we know about the Phantom Rider from the comics.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah, Carter Slade had. Yeah, hang on, I'm gonna see if we can catch someone. Yeah, I have a friend. Are you familiar with the YouTuber named Majin the Ruiner?
I can't remember from the top of my head. I'll have to see the profile.
Yeah, he offered to have some of his guys come and join me, but well, I'm
Okay.
kind of not. Well, I'm kind of not. I kind of find it hard sometimes that they focus when I got other people to reach out to, but I'm
Gotcha.
sure that let's see. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We're waiting for a guy named John to come on to come aboard.
Okay.
In the meantime, we can continue on this time with the second Ghost Rider. Let's just get everything set up. Trust me, I'm kind of not always prepared for everything in every step.
It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of yeah. My attention span can't always be that big and focused, but it always comes through at times like this. And here we are, the second Ghost Rider. Johnny Blaze. We all know who he is, right?
Right, this one.
Yeah. He's the second Ghost Rider. He was introduced in the he was introduced in the 70s. Now, and let me just get the page up for him. Here we are, Ghost Rider. Jonathan Johnny Blaze, aka the Ghost Rider, is an American motorcyclist, stunt performer, and entertainer turned spirit of vengeance. He was the son of famed stuntman Barton Blaze, who tragically died during a stunt. He became bound to Zarathos, the spirit of vengeance, after making a deal with the demon Mephisto to spare the life of his surrogate father, Crash Simpson. Now, with the power to control hellfire and to inflict pain on those who he deemed evil with his penance, Blaze seeks vengeance, riding his hell cycle as the Ghost Rider. He was introduced in Marvel Spotlight number 5, May of 1972. Okay, yeah. Zer- Origins. Zarathos, the demon, had built a power base for himself many years ago. Zarathos had a perchance for human souls, which led him into many conflicts, including against the blood cult and his fellow demon Mephisto, who felt that Zarathos was one of his rivals. Because of these conflicts and Mephisto's beliefs about the rivalry, he tricked Zarathos and enslaved him, wrapping him in the bodies of various mortals throughout the years while keeping him amnesiac. The torture of Zarathos, combined with Mephisto's search, which had been crafted by another of Zarathos's foes, the Blood, to house the essence of the original spirit of vengeance. This medallion had become embedded to the spiritual bloodlines of two families after it was broken. The Kale family were one of the bloodlines who drew the attention of Mephisto in the 18th century after the shard of the medallion within Noble Kale transformed him into a spirit of vengeance known as Ghostrider. Mephisto tried and failed to corrupt Noble and set his sights on the rest of the Kale clan, watching them from then on the firstborn noble of every generation manifest their power. That, yeah. Oh, integrity. Hey there, integrity. Nice of
What's
you to
going
drop
on?
by. Yep, not to worry, integrity. You can see your comments. Yeah, accepting you. Yeah, nice. Okay, let's continue. Johnny Blaze was born the son of Thornton Blaze and Naomi Calf. Calf, and spent his formative years growing up among the Clinton Carnival. Both of Blaze's parents starred alongside Craig Crash Simpson in a motorcycle show. This life seemed idyllic for a time until Blaze's mother left him and took both of his siblings, Barbara and Daniel. Oh, huh. Wait, wait. Really? Hold on a minute. Am I seeing this? Mhm. Wow. My goodness. I didn't even know that. I mean, Johnny Blaze in the comics is also the brother of Danny Case. Wow. I didn't even know this. I mean, it's interesting. Yeah. That's, sorry if I got off track, but I could not help but notice. Anyway, Naomi was aware of her family and was afraid of the suffering that would come to Johnny as it had to her. She chose to leave him and to place his siblings into the care of Francis Cash, whose name they would take. Johnny was deeply affected by the abandonment of his mother to the point that it caused him to repress many memories that he had of both her and his siblings. Shortly after the loss of his mother, Johnny would also lose his father burned to a stunt accident and came to be adopted by their friend Crash and his wife Mona Simpson. Mona Simpson, kind of like the character from The Simpsons, who was the mother of Homer Simpson. I mean, I has, did did Matt Groening not read the Ghostrider comics before choosing the name Mona Simpson, or what? You've seen The Simpsons, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of something. The couple hoped to hide the truth of Johnny's painful past from him, and instead fabricated a less tragic backstory from including that his mother, Carla Blaze, had died. Johnny grew up happy among the Simpsons family and grew ever closer to his foster sister, Roxanne, leading to their relationship growing beyond a familial sibling bond as they fell in love. Johnny's true mother would return to watch over him, pleased to discover that he was growing up happily while also remaining afraid that Cale's family curse would affect him. This drove Naomi Cale to make a bargain with Mephisto to spare Johnny from the family curse and hopefully put an end to it altogether. Naomi was betrayed by Mephisto, though. The demon swore in the last moments of Naomi's life that Johnny would not become the true Ghost Rider that he was supposed to become, but that he would still become a Ghost Rider. Yeah, never trust the devil. Fourth 1000. Hey there, buddy. How's it going there? Yeah, it's great to have some of the other guys come and join.
Yeah, good to see everybody.
Wow.
What's up, everyone?
Yep. Glad everyone's here tonight in the chat. Johnny would continue refusing to take wait as stunt performer. Okay. Johnny remained blissfully unaware of his connection with the multiple mystical foes and grew to follow his parents and the Simpsons into the family business, joining the Simpsons traveling stunt show, the Crash Simpson Stunt Cycle Extravaganza. During this time, Johnny had come to see Crash as a father and had been taught to ride and perform stunts on motorcycles by Crash, who hoped that his foster son would follow his legacy. When Johnny was 15, this dream would come to an end. When Mona Simpson was killed while practicing the stunt, which also nearly claimed Johnny's life, on her deathbed, Mona asked Johnny to quit riding and Johnny promised her he would. Johnny would continue refusing to take part in the Simpson family show for the next 5 years, placing strain on his relationship with Crash, who remained unaware of the reason behind Johnny's refusal. Crash also unaware that Johnny had been keeping up with practicing at night and had hoped his skills to the point of surprising. We are getting a good crowd here. Yep. Wow. Johnny, hang on. Unbeknownst to Crash, who had accused his son of cowardice, Johnny was also keeping other secrets, such as the nature of his relationship with Roxanne. Johnny would come to learn that Crash had developed cancer and was going to die from it, which drove Johnny once again to ask, which drove Crash to ask Johnny again to take over the family show. Johnny continued to refuse, which disappointed Roxanne. Johnny was unable to live with the idea of Crash dying and ultimately chose to study the occult, hoping to find a mystical way to save his foster father. The magic that Johnny discovered included a spell to supposedly summon Mephisto. Mephisto and Johnny made a deal, which cured Crash of his cancer as long as Johnny promised to serve as the team and spend eternity in hell. Despite their deal, Crash would die almost instantly after it, while accepting to set a new world record with a 22-car jump. Johnny was devastated by Crash's loss, and while seeking to honor memory of his father, attempted he made the jump himself. Johnny then came close to losing his soul to Mephisto. Had it not been for the timely intervention of Roxanne, proclaiming her love for him and temporarily driving Mephisto away by the purity of her love. After becoming the Ghostrider, after Crash's death, Johnny transformed into the Ghostrider for the first time, causing him to believe that the flaming skulled skeletal being was a demonic manifestation of the evil within him. Johnny soon realized that this was not true and that the being he came at night was an entirely different entity which had become bonded to him. Johnny would then become involved with a local motorcycle gang who called themselves Satan's Servants during his nightly transformation. Their leader, a man named Colonel E. Samuels, gained them Ghostwriters trust up until Johnny learned that within Curly's body was the soul of Crash Simpson. Mephisto had enlisted Crash in his efforts to gain hold of Johnny and new life as long as he betrayed his adopted son and bargained with that Crash accepted. After being cast into hell, the Ghost Rider was able to reason with Crash, reawakening it for his son and a sense of honor. Crash would then sacrifice himself to allow Johnny to escape from hell, while also making the Ghost Rider's promise to protect his daughter Roxanne. Johnny would begin a journey through the American Southwest alongside Roxanne, where he would first battle a Satanist known as the Witch Woman while transformed into Ghost Rider. Johnny stayed near Copper Canyon for a time and came across Damien Hellstorm, aka the Son of Satan, who would also destroy Johnny, but Johnny and Roxanne would continue traveling west, seeking to escape from Mephisto and stay safe. After making their way to San Francisco, Roxanne was tricked and renounced her. Ah, what do we? Ah, hang on, I gotta get. Our, ah, hello, Margin.
How
Hello,
you
Margin.
doing, my man? Are you doing good?
Hi. Yeah, I just gotta get done.
I'm
Just gotta
getting
get
some
done
stuff run up. Apologize for being a little late.
here.
Trying to run, take showers. Just got to have to work off late. I didn't know you was an hour ahead of me, so it kind of run a little bit late. So I apologize for that.
Yeah, sorry, Margin. I wanted to make sure the director was able to come join us. I mean, I owe him after holding up those after holding up last week's stream, and
It's
but
cool,
hey,
no worries.
yeah, great for you to join.
I appreciate it. I wish I could have brought some two of my guys, but they expert in the comic book world. But yeah, so I had to jump in and fulfill, jump in and wing it. You know what I mean?
yeah, thank you. Yep. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Roxanne was tricked and renounced her love for Johnny, allowing Mephisto to seemingly almost claim Johnny's soul. At the last moment, they were saved by a mysterious, long-haired Imperial mystery man who would tell them he was a friend. Johnny believed this man to be a heavenly figure, someone helping them and offering hope and salvation. There would come several more run-in with this man before he would come in to be revealed as a trick of Mephisto. Johnny became discouraged when he learned the truth about his friend, and when combined with his fear and the growing difficulty controlling the ghost, he came to the decision to leave Roxanne and strike out on his own, which would, would continue to do so for the following years. Johnny came to find, leaving the stunt riding, Johnny came to find that his demonic half, the Ghostrider, was able to exert more and more control over his actions and his personality. Because of this, Johnny was unable to keep up with his career as a professional stunt rider, losing his title as world champion to Flag Fargo. After a series of losses, Johnny would then go on to join the Quentin Carnival. Although he did not remember it from his childhood, it felt like home to him in his demoralized state. While Johnny was a member of the Carnival, he formed a friendly rivalry with Red Fowler, a fellow writer who flirted with Cynthia Randolph, a journalist for Women magazine who had been assigned to follow the carnival. Johnny would also come up against Centurists, the soulless men who fed off souls imprisoned by an ancient artifact known as the Crystal of Souls. Huh. Huh. You okay? Margin, are you okay? Are you there, Margin?
Yeah. I'm here, man. Like I said, I'm just trying to get set up and everything, and
Oh,
I'm
no problem.
running 10 different things. I apologize, man. Who else is on here with on the live today?
Oh, Don Solo will be joining us soon in 10 minutes as he informed me on Discord. But over here
Okay,
we can show you who's in the chats while we take a little break. Here we've got Noise
that's what's up.
Pollution. Huh.
Are you live on your stream?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And look who we got. Also, look who we got here. Well, I like the nickname. So cute little Parker. Sorry, I called him that because he just how funny he is when he rants sometimes. And pardon me for saying that, but also we got another nice guy I met called Captain Kip Keeley, and along with our friend and companion Integrity, and we have Fort 1000 with us here too. Anyway, we should hit back. Let's get back to reading. Yeah, while Johnny was a member of Carnival, he formed a friendly rivalry with Red Fowler, a fellow writer, and flirted with Cynthia Randolph, a journalist for Women magazine, who had been assigned to follow the carnival. Johnny would also come up against Central. Oh, I did this part. An encounter that would bring up but dark memories within Ghostrider. Johnny would also be captured by the demon known as Nightmare, who revealed to him that the name of the demon that that was bonded to him was Zarathos. Johnny and Zarathos struggled for control over his body would continue until the return of Roxanne Simpson. Roxanne sought Johnny out for aid when a small town had been overrun by Centrist and Ethan Dombolo, aka the Sin Eater. Johnny became the Ghost Rider to fight Centrist once again and learned throughout that he had a feud with Zarathos. that had been going on for centuries. Their fight ended when the demon Zarathos interest became bound within the Crystal of Souls, freeing Johnny Blaze from Ghostrider. Johnny bought the carnival and settled down with Roxanne, who he married and had 2 children, Craig and Emma. Meeting Denny Tesh. Wow, that's something. All right. Wow. Okay. Now I think we can stop there for Johnny Blaze. Because right now we're about to move on to the third Ghostrider, folks. The third Ghostrider, who who I just collected the first 3 issues off of last 2 weeks ago when I was at a comic store. Who up until tonight did not know that he in the comics was actually Johnny Blaze's brother, unlike the movie. And that is right. We are talking about the third Ghostrider, also known as Daniel Ketch. Daniel Ketch. Early years. Danny Ketch and his sister Barbara were born into Barton Blaze and Naomi Cale, but were given away to a widowed woman named Frances Ketch when they were very young. The two grew up only knowing Mrs. Ketch as their mother, but their biological mom, Naomi.
Guess the connection dropped.
Yes. What's going on, man? You see TV?
Sorry, I don't know if my thing is stable enough.
Oh, you're good.
Thank you.
This is my first time on this platform. The the streaming service. I know it just took me right to you. It's pretty interesting, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, it's a good
Thank
thing.
you.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's not too bad. It took me right to you. Just had to log in. Caught me off guard a little bit. I'm sorry, gentlemen, man. I'm just running, trying to just getting everything together so I can come over here and talk. Caught me
It's
at the
cool.
last second.
No worries, it
Yeah.
happens. I gotta get going because I gotta do a 30-minute drive and I gotta be somewhere by 8. So I have
Okay.
to get going now. So
All right. Thank you.
all right. So I guess we'll catch up on the next one then. All right.
Sure thing.
All right.
Take
Then
care.
you guys enjoy then.
All right.
All right. Talk to you.
Take it easy.
All right. Later.
Yep. All right. Let's get the screen back up.
Yeah. So let me just adjusting a little bit more here, and I'll be good.
Sure. All right.
So
When
you're just
when on
going
a
you're
fifth
just
grade
going over the
Danny, he was
topic, or
interviewed on television after. Yes, I am. And yeah, because you gotta also learn about the ghostwriters too. I'll be sure to have.
oh, okay.
I'll be glad to. I mean, when Don, I'll be glad to have him and share what he knows about the ghostwriter in a moment. Plus,
Oh
all
yeah,
right. So
Don.
wow. Once Don Solo, yeah, noise pollution. Wow. You have to excuse my friend. No problem. Anyway, on a fifth grade field trip to Manhattan, he was interviewed on television after seeing Spider-Man and the Human Torch driving the Spider-Mobile up walls. Working as a paperboy, the nice, normal, ordinary Danny and had his photo taken with Phil and Doris Shelton to mark Phil's decision to retire from photographing superheroes. Now, Ghostwriter. On Halloween night when they were teenagers, Danny took his sister to a graveyard to give her the opportunity to take pictures of the grave of Harry Holliday. During during the their ex, during this excursion, the siblings stumbled upon a confrontation between two gangs, one led by Deathwatch and the other made up of cronies belonging to Kingpin. Ah, yeah, I read these first three comics of this character. The two gangs began fighting each other, and Barbara cried out, causing Deathwatch to become aware of her presence. Barbara was shot through the chest with an arrow by one of Deathwatch's henchmen, so Danny grabbed his sister's body and ran away to a nearby junkyard. Distressed and covered in his sister's blood, he hid there with his sister's unconscious body from Deathwatch's henchmen until he noticed a pristine motorbike with a glowing gas cap. Inspecting the glowing gas cap, Danny touched it with his blood-stained hand and instantly transformed into Ghostrider, a spirit of vengeance whose mission was to take revenge on those who shed innocent blood. As Ghostrider, both Daniel's mind and Ghostrider's mind were in control, resulting in Danny being only somewhat influential of his own actions. Ah, yeah. Ghostrider confronted and began to torture the henchmen of Deathwatch, but was interrupted by the arrival of the police. Leaving Barbara's body behind, Ghostrider escaped the police on his flaming motorbike, which had also been transformed when Danny touched the glowing gas cap. Eventually, Ghostrider drove into a secured alleyway where he turned back into Danny Cash. Barbara's unconscious body was taken to the hospital by cops, but not much time later she was killed by Blackout, who had learned Danny's secret identity and sought revenge on the Ghostrider for burning his face, an injury Blackout actually had himself to blame for. Dan's good friend Jack Audio was also caught up in the conflict against Death Watch's men, where he helped Ghostrider fight them. Ah, yeah. When deal. Oh, jeez. Are you okay?
Yeah, I guess they just got connected on us, disconnected on us for a second.
Wow. My goodness. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of have that kind. Sometimes I have that trouble too. Sometimes I kind of had it first thing when I was doing reaction videos back in July over the summer. But hey, are we doing good now?
Oh yeah, we should be. Can you hear me fine? Is it everything running on your side?
Yep, everything's clear on my end, Majan.
That's what's up.
Okay. Now that was the three Ghost Riders. Just the top three. Still waiting on. Still waiting for our other guy to come. Yeah. Just waiting for our other friend to come in soon. Now, meantime, James,
Do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions?
sure thing. Go ahead.
So, what do you know of the Ghost Rider? Because I need to. I'm going to ask a couple of questions, and maybe you can fill me in on some stuff. What I know is from the movies and some of the comic books. So maybe you can fill it in on some of the interesting parts of it. What I think is interesting about the Ghost Rider, if you don't mind.
Sure. What I find interesting is how he can turn certain objects into flaming weapons of death. Not just his chains, and not just the shotgun, but also certain vehicles and stuff he can touch. You know, if you've
I got
seen
a
the
question. So, do you know what the Spectre is? Right?
Spectre. I mean, from
Yeah,
D.
Spectre is from the DC universe, right?
Yeah, I know who he is.
Okay, so I was watching a movie the other day. Well, actually, last night I just finished both movies. It's Infinity World Crisis or something like that on HBO.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Right, right, right. So, and I'm going to relate it back to Ghost Rider because I'm wondering what Ghost Rider is. Okay, because this got me thinking. I was asking somebody earlier today about this, and I just want your opinion real quick. So, in a way, like if I remember right, in the movies, one of the movies, they said Ghost Rider was like a fallen angel, right?
Yes.
Is that
Some
correct?
people went crazy.
So, and I get it's Marvel and everything like that. So if he's a fallen angel, that basically in the movie he was like basically he was the angel of death. Basically, is that kind of right?
Yeah, yes, I believe so.
Okay, so in a way, so I was thinking about Spectre because I was listening to a little bit of things of what he was. It was kind of like similar of angel that fell fallen. The guy that was explaining was Spectre was a because I didn't know who he was, but after I found out he was just around, he's very powerful. But uh, I was wondering if that is the premise of what Ghost Rider is, right? He's very powerful. He's more powerful than a normal entity, right?
Ghost Rider, yes, he definitely is. Yeah, and
So
I've
would
seen from the first movie yeah,
got
from the
you.
first movie. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So so is it the same thing as the DC universe is like Spectre in a way? Like if they're both fallen angels, right? And they're basically death, it sounds like. Would that be the is that what basically the creator, the God, the in the DC universe or the Marvel universe chose them to be the harbinger of death, basically?
Kind of depends. Yeah, sort of like that. And they are both
And so
spiritual.
they you choose avatars like in Spectre's one, he basically chose he was basically choosing he had to be with the human because when he was by himself he was destroying everything and causing too much damage and they had to put him with somebody to kind of calm him down to do right judgment. But and on the Marvels part of it, that one just basically he sends basically he just takes everybody that did sin. Does he just basically take them to hell, right?
Yeah, yeah, of course. That's what I've learned from watching the movies and by far.
That's interesting. So
Yep.
his power level. Let me ask you this: what do you think his power level would be up against Thanos?
No idea, but I doubt he'd be able to defeat Thanos right away because Thanos, as you know, would definitely put up a real fight before Ghost Rider could even land a penance there on it. You
That'd
know.
be interesting.
Yeah, it sure would be. Shame we never got that opportunity in Infinity War.
Is there any comic books for that,
Ghost Rider appearing in the Infinity War comics, I don't know.
or Ghost Rider fighting anybody like Thanos?
No idea, but that would be real interesting if there was, Majin.
Mm, I would like to see that.
Hmm. Anyway,
Let me ask you another question? Would Ghost Rider be like so? John, he has a couple of people that he trades bodies with, right? New avatars, right?
yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
would one of them be able to control the power of the Ghost Rider better than the other one, like Gene does with the Phoenix, like White Crown of the Phoenix?
I suppose. Oh,
So which out of all three of them, which one's
hello
the
there.
strongest?
Welcome,
Hey
welcome,
guys,
Don.
my name's Don. I'm part of ZPG. What's up, guys?
What up,
Oh,
Donnie?
great to have you here. How are you, Don?
Yeah. So what we talking about, guys? I know Ghost
We're
Rider is
talking.
the topic, but where we at?
Oh, we were at Danny Catch, but first I'd like you to share what you know about him and the predecessors so far.
Basically, I asked him a question about Ghost Rider. Is one of them stronger than the other? like you know how the Phoenix is with the what Jean is with the Phoenix, she becomes the white crown of the Phoenix.
Yeah,
So is Johnny the first? Is it Johnny the first one, right?
Johnny's not the first one. He's the most known one.
Yeah, he's actually the
Well,
second
is
one.
he the one? Is he the strongest one with the Ghost Rider? Like with that angel or
I
with the
think
Ghost Rider power?
isn't Robbie Reyes the strongest one?
Oh, you mean one of the Ghost Riders after him? Well, I don't know much about Reyes, but but I, but it's kind of sort of like that. So far, so far I've gone through so far I've gone through both Carter Slade, Johnny Blaze, and I've collected a comic on the third Ghost Rider, Danny Kesh, who I just learned tonight that is the brother of Johnny Blaze. It's kind of surprising too, to me, of course.
You said Danny Ketch.
Oh, this one, yes, yeah. How much do you know about him?
I don't know a lot about Danny Ketch at all.
So you're familiar with Robbie Reese most?
Yeah, from the Shield series.
Sure,
That's
sure,
probably why I'd say he's the strongest too.
yeah,
From my main knowledge from Ghost Rider comes from the movie, the Shields, Agents of Shields, and then a few comic books. And then I've watched a lot of what is that dude's name?
Comic books explain.
I don't think so. It's kind of the bigger dude with the hair that's like long into the side. Can't remember his name. Kind of looks like you, Majin.
Hmm.
It doesn't matter. He just explains comics pretty much. But
I'm about to look up and see if we have Thanos versus Ghost Rider.
sure. Go
yeah,
ahead.
yes.
Yeah, I need to get a drink.
No, I was asking him. I was asking him about the Spectre. Spectre was almost. I mean, because you would think it was during that time. Who came out first, Spectre or Ghost Rider?
I'm pretty sure Ghost Rider came out first because didn't he come out like 60s? Let's see when he came out. Ghost Rider debut.
Ghost Rider versus Thanos. Is there a comic book?
1972 was his debut. And you said who was the other one?
Spectre,
The Spectre.
a DC universe.
Yeah,
The only reason why I bring him up because he was kind of cool. I just got done watching the DC Infinite Earths, and that dude was like kicking in the background through the whole thing, watching everything.
yeah. But that is quite something.
The Spectre was first by 30 years.
So you think that's where they probably got the Ghost Rider?
Hang on, I'm getting my thing.
There's a couple more. Hang on.
Hang on. My mic. Can anyone hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Yeah,
you.
we hear you just fine.
Yeah, I'm just making sure my mic is working. I just got it in. Let's see. Anyway, let me find Robbie Reese.
It says Ghost Rider killed Thanos.
Yeah. If you have
Yeah, I'm looking it up.
a single ounce of sorrow in your soul,
Huh.
you lose the Ghost Rider's penance there automatically.
Yeah, so yeah,
Huh.
so he pulled it out, and then he carried his skull around. It looks like. So
Oh my goodness.
it looked pretty badass to me.
Hang on.
You got to think though,
Yeah.
Ghost Rider has gone cosmic levels. He's gone outer realm levels. Like Ghost Rider is unlimited energy. He is as powerful as he has to be.
But he's an angel of death, right?
Pretty, well, I wouldn't say that, but yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, similar stories to Spectre, though. I'll tell you
He
that.
is he is a demon cursed by Mephisto who is cursed to what is
The
it?
Ghost Rider was an urban legend long before the comic books. That's interesting. I didn't even know that.
He was
Why was he an
what is the
urban
curse
legend?
that Mephisto put on him?
Ghost Rider urban legend. How far does it go back? Typically, directly Ghost Rider. Horse apparently is tracers.
Let me pull out the old handy dandy research real quick.
Mid 20th century. Ghost Rider legend. Horseback. Europe, Asia, North America, often associated with the doom, spirit of the dead, a haunting and the living. What time that makes Ghost Rider? That's all I can think of it today. 1970s. So yeah, I guess. I mean, it's kind of similar though, like in a way. Like if they, I mean, you would think that's the route they would go. He would be if it is I mean, if it's going off the ideology of heaven and hell, right? Then the Ghost Rider would be one of the strongest entities out there. I would say right off top. That would probably be why they try to control him. They try to control him compared to um, how would you say? You would have to manipulate him more than you would be able to try to control him to straight out do things for you, right? You think?
Well, that's my argument for the Spectre. Hang on one second.
Because the Spectre, when I was listening to that one, the Spectre, its entity was the fallen angel that got turned into basically death and the harbinger, right? So it's similar to Ghost Rider. There's two people in him, right? Which is an angel that went crazy. By the movie, it looked like went crazy, but it's kind of like in the same way that he's very powerful because he was granted that gift, right? Or that probably only to one because the Spectre said in the DC thing when I was listening to that uh uh basically
He's fine.
Ghost right or Spectre Angel Michael had to come and talk to him and then that's when they said he was doing too much and they had to put him a human in him so he couldn't control all the power and go crazy and then basically another one came in so it's to me it sounds that sounds kind of like they took it from it for some reason, or it's pretty close.
Yeah.
I forgot. Mom.
Another one of my guys couldn't make it tonight. But anyway, I found some images of Ghost Rider finding Thanos. Yeah, kind of like what we saw, like you guys said, of him fighting a Mad Titan.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Now that'd be a fight.
Yeah, it sure hell would be. Yep, real hell of
I mean,
fun.
because you got to think though, right? Because if you think of Thanos, okay, and this is all I'm saying is with Spectre and everything, I would have loved to see Spectre fight Doomsday because they in the World's Crisis they had a what they and that whole part of it basically, I was wondering how powerful he was compared to the other ones, and I started looking it up, and I was like, man, it's very similar to Ghost Rider how powerful he is. So why wouldn't he be able to take out Thanos? You know what I mean? Because Ghost Rider is what? What do you think he's Omega level, or he has to be Omega level, right?
Well, he could be Omega level, but that would depend on how. It depends on how. It wouldn't just depend on how much power a certain character has or what they're capable of, but how quick. But how quick they are in such a reflex and stuff. Yeah,
Right.
as you see here with Thanos grabbing hold of Ghost Rider, you obviously know he wouldn't go down easily without a fight first. Yeah, as you see, he wouldn't go out without a.
Wouldn't that be interesting to give Thanos the Ghost Rider power? That would be
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, it would be crazy. Yeah. Anyway, let me get.
Do you think that there's going to be an upcoming show of the Ghost Rider? The other thing is too, the guy that played Robbie Reyes in the Shield, because I remember watching that. I watched all the Shield one. I did enjoy that. I don't know why they don't bring him back for that role. To tell you the truth.
Yeah, that's another. That's a good question. Yeah, Robert Reyes. Let me get him up. Let me get him up so we can take a look.
Did you watch all Agents of Shield?
Nah, I didn't keep. I kind of skipped out on the rest of the series. But hey, here he is. Robbie Reyes, young mechanic, was a young mechanic who was working in eastern Los Angeles, California. The neighborhood he lived in, Hill Rock Heights, was plagued with gangs and corruption, making life difficult for him and his brother Gabe when as looked up to him as a hero. Eager to move to a safer neighborhood, Robbie entered a street race that earned $50,000. Unbeknownst to him, the car he used was inhabited by a ghost. As he was taking the lead, however, he was followed by whom he assumed would be the police. Worried about what would happen to Gabe without him, Robbie tried to escape, but he drove into a dead end. He left his car and attempted to explain himself to his pursuers, only for them to violently open fire upon him, killing him. They attempted to burn the car and Robbie's body. However, as they left, the ghost possessed Robbie, transforming him into a new Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider gave chase and managed to take out a handful of Robbie's attackers, though some of them got away. Robbie awoke the next morning, believing the events had simply been a nightmare. However, he soon found out that one of his eyes was now orange. Concerned, he returned to the workshop where the car had been Canelo's auto and body. While attempting to take it out for another drive, he was confronted by two thugs who worked for the owner of the car. Robbie became Ghost Rider again and attacked them before driving into a junkyard, reverting. Ghost Rider appeared as Robbie's reflection, and Robbie asked the rider what it is, to which it responded, "The real question is, what are we?" The demon revealed itself to be a spirit named Ellie, and offered Robbie a chance to seek vengeance towards those who have done wrong. After some thought, Robbie accepted. Robbie later returned to the garage where he ah pet brat. Hey there, buddy. Hey there. Hey.
I can take over
And
reading for a second if you want.
yep.
Where
Okay.
were you at?
Robbie.
Robbie later returned to the garage where he worked to find his boss murdered and the car stolen. Eli claimed to know who had done this, and Robbie transformed into the Ghost Rider. The Rider teleported the car and merged with it. Attacking the drug cartel who had stolen it, he prepared to finish them off when the leader suddenly took some mystical pills and mutated into a massive hulking creature. Robbie won the battle after a brutal fight, though was soon confronted by Mr. Hyde. He managed to defeat Hyde as well and quickly became a protector in the eyes of the local residents. Unwilling to become a vigilante, Robbie began using his power to make money off of street races, which allowed him to work less and spend some time with Gabe, much to Eli's dismay. This newfound fame caught the attention of the original Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze, who traveled to Los Angeles to confront the new Ghost Rider, intercepting Robbie just as Eli's influence caused him to accidentally kill a street racer. Eli soon completely assumed control over the new rider, escaped and gradually took over. Eli soon completely assumed control of the new rider, escaped, and gradually took over Robbie's body in his human form to seek out revenge on the Russian mob boss named. Can you scroll down?
Oh, sure thing. How's this? How's that? That better?
Yeah. Igor Ivanov. Eli was not to be a spirit of vengeance, but rather a satanic serial killer who murdered and dismembered at least 37 people in rituals before he was fatally shot by the police in 1999, who lived in the house that Reyes and his brothers lived in, that his brothers took to live in. After Johnny subdued Eli with a penance stare, he briefly spoke with Robbie, warning him that he must take care not to let Eli reawaken. However, Robbie rushed home, discovering that Eli in his body had left Gabe alone and hungry on the floor, a trauma that caused Gabe a mental regression. Becoming detached and unfocused, Robbie later fought off Mr. Hyde's gang. When Robbie permanently bonded with Eli's spirit, he told Eli that they will dispose of anyone with an evil soul. When the final host of Dark Celestial invaded the Earth, Ghost Rider was among the group of heroes brought. You gotta scroll down again. Scroll down a little more. There you go. Oh, that's really good, actually. When the final host of the Dark Celestials invaded the Earth, Ghost Rider was among the group of heroes brought together to defend the planet. Having been specifically chosen as an ally for She-Hulk by the Celestial Esson, the Searcher, Robbie joined the final battle against the Dark Celestials by using his power to take over the corpse of a dead Celestial. The Horde, I remember that part. Me and Brandon talked about that. The Horde that had infected the Dark Celestials and was sleeping through the earth was finally defeated when the Avengers used the Unimind, channeling all of the powers within the Celestial powering Ghost Rider. With the Horde laid dormant, the heroes joined forces with a Celestial to defeat the Dark Celestials. The heroes that were brought together by the final host subsequently banded together to reform the Avengers, with Ghost Rider giving it a try despite his feelings of inadequacy. Before the arrival of the final host, Robbie experienced odd behaviors in his powers, with the Hell Charger becoming silent and also taking him in his sleep to the resting place of the Dark Celestial Zagreb in South Africa before he awakened. When this happened, Robbie was attacked by the Starbrand, whom he accidentally killed when he subjected him to the penance stare. Despite not being a spirit of vengeance himself, Robbie's powers were further thrown in disarray. When the Avengers were confronted by the Legion of unliving, they used incantations to corrupt and subvert Robbie until the Avengers recruit Blade cleanse him. Shouldn't it say to cleanse him?
Yeah, it says that.
Subvert Robbie until Avengers recruit Blade to cleanse him. Becoming fed up with the Hell Chargers' increasing misbehavior, Robbie enlists the help of his teammates to exorcise the vehicle and free it of the mysterious new spirit possessing it. When the exorcism goes wrong, Robbie was sent to Hell, where Johnny Blaze, the recent crowned King of Hell, challenged Robbie for a race for his power. Robbie was assisted by spirits of vengeance of old and eventually the Avengers, who managed to reach Robbie in Hell. Robbie won the challenge, but instead abdicted the throne of Hell back to Blaze, with the Hell Chargers freed from the influence of Eli's spirit. Robbie embraced his power as a Ghostrider and his place with the Avengers. Learning the threat posed by the multiversal masters of evil and the Council of Red, Robbie and a Deathlock sent by Avenger Prime began traveling together through the multiverse to recruit potential allies. The allies that they managed to gather include Ant-Man, Star Panther, several alternative versions of Captain America, the God. That's for you, Guarantina, I think.
Yeah.
Ant-Man, Star Panther, several alternative versions of Captain America, the God of Fist, and Carol Corpse. The other versions of Iron Man. It was during this time that he discovered he was the All Rider, a unique Ghost Rider that could ride anything. When the
You okay?
when the evil forces began their assault on Avenger Prime base, the God Quarry, that's the name of the base. Robbie's powers suddenly stopped working. He regained them in the midst of the battle and used them to plug a hole in the God Quarry, saving the entire multiverse from being destroyed by the power of the first firmament. However, in order to do this, he had to enter the first firmament and seal it from the other side, trapping him there. Nevertheless, he began to rebuild his car and await the chance to go home.
Thank you. Anyway, we still got more to do, but thanks for reading. Yeah.
Yeah, next time it's Majin's turn.
All right. Now it's time to find. Yep. Now it's time to
So
bring out.
let me ask you this: since you're doing all that reading and you want to throw people out there, uh, so why is he unique? Why is he the only one that gets to ride anything he wants to? So does that mean that he could just jump on anything and it turn into a not all Ghost Riders could just jump on anything, turn it into flame and stuff?
No.
Like use it particular things?
I know they can imbue weapons with their Hellfire, but I don't think they can make anything active, like speed it up. Like how Venom can make anything a symbiote, I don't think they can do that.
Yeah. Nope. Not at all. Not with vehicles.
But Reyes is like
Well, okay. Let me ask you this. So they basically got to be vehicles and not a like living
no,
thing, right? But there
because
was a Ghost Rider
Right.
that did that with the horse, right?
that's what I was gonna say. There is a Ghost Rider that has a horse. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
That would.
what if a Ghost Rider got on a human?
Eh. Oh my God. That wouldn't be. That would definitely not sit well at all. That'd be
Well,
crazy.
No, I'm just saying. Like, what if a
hypothetically,
Ghost Rider? Why can't the Ghost Rider take over like a Hulk in a way? Like, just jump on his
Oh.
back, jump on
Oh
his
my.
shoulders, and take him over, like, and run it, right?
Oh my. Oh my God, that would
You
be.
know what, Majin? Since you said that, you
How I
stopped
say
me
them.
before I said some crazy things. I was about to say some crazy things, and I'm gonna just shut it down right there.
I'm just saying,
But
like, why? It's pretty powerful. The Ghost Rider can do that.
Yeah,
I think Reyes could do that hypothetically.
It said
yeah.
the unique Ghost Rider that can ride anything. So why not a bird or like, you know what I mean? He could turn anything into a like. Why not a bear? You know what I mean? Why not like you could grab your house cat while you're walking up down the street and turn it into a lion, like He-Man or something. You know what I mean?
No, it has to be big enough for him to ride it.
Yeah.
What is this equal weight?
Well, it has to
Well,
be big enough to support him and still walk.
and he kind of took over that giant crane from Spirit of Vengeance, but it was he
Well, you
always
know
did was
what? You're
bring.
right about that. He did do that
Yeah,
with the crane. He did that with the car too. It turned the truck into a car. Well, so that Ghost Rider could do it with all of them, can't he? Or is that only certain? Maybe certain Ghost Riders can only do it with vehicles, and the other ones can do it with animals or something.
Well, I think
hmm
certain ones have certain power sets for sure. You see that all the time.
yep,
Like there's the base power set that everybody has, and then different people have different ways they use the powers. Like take the Flash for instance. They all use the Speed Force in different ways to give them different like advantages that the other ones don't have, you know.
So some Ghost Riders are stronger than the others. But let me ask you this: in
Yeah,
the
it
movie,
depends
there
on
were
who's
two Ghost
riding pretty
Riders.
much.
There were two Ghost Riders, right?
at first
Yeah.
there were two go.
So
Yeah,
technically, there's a little bit of the power Ghost Rider can hand out its power, kind of, can't it?
So it's two things, okay? So originally there was the Immortals, right? That's what you were talking about at first, right? The Immortals and
Right.
how they made the pendant so that they could fight them and they broke it into 12 pieces and hid it in the souls. And that's how Mephisto made Ghost Rider. Because he seen the pendant, the piece of pendant hidden, and he activated it and it turned it into Ghost Rider. Um
yeah,
Got you.
yeah. I read that.
hypothetically, there's 11 other pendants out in the world that could be
11
turned into
others.
Ghost Riders. So there could be 12 possible Ghost Riders at the same time. But
Wow, 12.
yes, they can transfer their powers to other people.
Hmm, that
I
is
haven't seen a
interesting.
Ghost Rider duplicate his power, but I've seen him transfer it. And
Yeah,
I know the pendant was broken into 12 pieces, so if a piece of the pendant made one Ghost Rider, then it should be able to make 12 altogether, right?
I
yeah.
mean,
That's right.
hypothetically.
And now we come to his arch nemesis and his maker, Mephisto.
Well, actually, like, so the Inuyasha route, like, if you got all 12 pendants and you put them together and then you activated it, what kind of Ghost Rider would that be?
I have no idea.
Because that would make
But
Mephisto nothing. Like, he would be, like, pale in comparisons, you know?
yeah,
But
true.
go ahead, Mephisto.
Yep. Take it away, Majin.
Oh, I was joking. I can read.
No, I'm not reading. I'm doing all these emails at the same time, man.
Put
Like I
on
am
your
so.
gashes. No, I
I'm
got
doing
you.
business on
I
the
got
side
you.
for us, but
Mephisto
Okay.
I
for
am
the extra.
listening.
I got you. Hang on, Oreo, quiet.
Wow.
And so I
All right,
just
here we
tweeted
go.
us out
Action.
on Twitter.
All right, Mephisto. It's an extra dimensional demon who rules a fiery pocket dimension that he calls hell or Hades. Although it is neither the hell of the Christian religion nor Hades of ruled by Hades, the Olympian god of the dead. Mephisto calls his extra dimensional realm hell in order to exploit Earth human beings' the belief in a single being of absolute evil. who is often referred to as Satan, who rules such a realm. Mephisto resembles the traditional visual conception of the devil. It is known it is not known whether this is Mephisto's true appearance or one that he has adopted in order to resemble the devil. He also allows himself to be called names that human beings give to their concepts of the devil, such as Mephisto, a certain form of Mephistopheles, the name
Mephistopheles.
given, huh?
Mephistopheles.
Mess, yeah, he said it. I'm saying
Yeah.
that. The name given to the devil in the false legend and of a possible fallen angel. Indeed, Mephisto has allowed people to believe him to be Satan himself. However, Mephisto is not Lucifer. Mephisto's domain is inhabited by himself, a lesser demon who serves him, and by the astral forms of certain deceased human beings which have been trapped in the bodies of demons. These demonic bodies imprisoning human spirits have been magically altered to resemble the deceased mortals' human forms. Mephisto is continually seeking to add more spirits of sentient beings to his realm by inducing living sentient beings to submit their wills to his. Mephisto apparently prim, primil- seeks primarily to enslave human souls, although he will go after those of extraterrestrial on Earth as well.
Okay. Now we come to his origins.
Mephisto's true
Uh,
origin has been lost to time. Many stories claim to tell the true origin. The primordial entity known as Nemesis was born at the beginning of time and was all alone and was alone in its universe, the first cosmos. It used its great power to create life from its own body, but suddenly the creature turned out to be evil, becoming the first demon, saddened by what it created, and wiped them all out. Alone again, the entity committed suicide, but its remnants became the infinity stones after its death. The demons were reborn, and one of them beings was Mephisto. But the power of the stones were forbidden to these beings. Eons ago, the elder god Demigorg defeated the other members of his race, ending their rule. The dark energy created by from their deaths, formed the first demons. These included Thog, Satanish, and Mephisto. Hang on a second. I thought it said that the demons were created from the suicide. I guess it's just listing all the different versions. Garden of Eden. According to Lilith, Mephisto, in the form of a snake, tricked Adam and Eve into partaking of the fruit of knowledge, ensuring that their banishment from the biblical Garden of Eden. Mephisto became increasingly obsessed with manipulating living humans into selling their souls to him, neglecting the teeming masses of damned souls already condemned to his realm. 1 million BC. Taking on the form of a snake again, Mephisto appeared before a young man belonging to a tribe of mammoth-riding early humans who had been slaughtered by Wendigo. Mephisto offered the man the power to avenge his people in exchange for guessing his name, and bonded him to a spirit of vengeance to make him the first Ghostrider. Mephisto also attempted to corrupt Fan Fei and exile from the city of Kunlun, who possessed the power of the Iron Fist. Fan Fei rejected his suggestion that she use her power to conquer the world. Mephisto vengefully assisted the gorilla
Right, hold on, Don. I got a question. All right. Noise pollution said, short answer, it depends on writing, who's writing it at the moment, right?
Yeah, he was talking about the Ghost
Ted
Riders being
Brent,
able to drive
right,
vehicles.
said if he had a German Shepherd dog, he had a German Shepherd dog, right? It would have, was it growing? It would have been his steed. So, like, is he saying that it could have been like you could have something smaller, right? And then what the like they would have to grow, right?
Yeah, something like that.
I
Yeah.
mean, it just depends on how. So, if there was some mystical, or is there got to be some type of limits on what he can get on it, because didn't it
Uh-huh.
say that only what they love wasn't whatever they were tied to, like their cars or their motorcycles, you know what I mean? Like it's something like they loved,
Well,
but
Robbie just
basically
found that bike in the whatchamacallit.
Uh-huh.
still it'd been cool if they could just like jump on the Hulk and take him over and ride him
Yeah.
real fast. You know what I mean? Wouldn't that be an image of him running through the desert fast with flames coming out of, like, you know what I mean? Because that's how bad the Ghost Rider is.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Well, they did
something
a
like
Thor out Hulk. They might do a Ghost Rider Hulk.
yeah. Yeah, they
Well,
featured Ghost.
I did see a comic book where the Hulk had the symbiote and he had the Ghost Rider inside of him. I forgot what they called it and why they had to come together to get out of something, but the Hulk had to use both of them basically to get out of something. I can't really,
Oh.
or my fat butt. Brett like those
Oh.
Doritos. uh, hey,
Give them
Doritos
the
are good now.
nachos, man.
Oh.
Get those
Okay.
nachos.
Oh
When
my
Iron
goodness.
Man was displaced a million years into the past, Mephisto attempted to manipulate him into making a deal by first offering him gifts and then by sending the Ape King and the other monsters to attack him. With Iron Man's armor running low on
That's
power,
funny.
Mephisto, who had come into possession of the Time Stone, appeared before him in person, claiming to be Tony's real father. Tony refused Mephisto's offer and fought off the monsters the Hell Lord sent to pressure him into making the bargain. Eventually
Younger don't know
returning,
nothing about Ghost Rider.
eventually returning to the present day, in an attempt to defeat the Avengers, Mephisto convinced the young Thanos to attack them.
Mm.
Yeah, but you know a lot about Iron Man.
Yeah,
You
we
sure
do.
are Iron Man groupie.
Yeah, they did.
Hmm.
Century during the rule of King Arthur, he he refused
He
he
granted refuge.
refuged to the sorcerers Morgan Le Fay in the realm in exchange for a piece of the sword Excalibur. Doctor Doom traveled back to the time of trade Iron Man for the sword fragments. Doctor Doom also took LeFay with him. Keeping her trapped. I thought that was a dude's name. Keeping her trapped in a mystic cage. Mephisto amused himself by watching Stark try to escape his hellish realm. Battling his demonic hordes, he took the form of a armored Howard Stark in demonic armor. Iron Man was able to defeat him and use his powers to return to the present. 10th century Mephisto convinced Apocalypse that the false gods who mocked him needed to perish, sending the mutant into conflict with the era's Avengers. In the year 1987 AD, 7 members of the Druid cult made a deal with Mephisto in exchange for immortality. They had agreed to funnel souls into his realm. Over the subsequent millennium, the mage acquired great wealth and became the board member of a London-based corporation named Mystech. To pay their debt to Mephisto, the Mystech board plotted to take over the world and kill vast numbers of innocents. in the
Sorry, I got a
seventies.
question. All right, so if if Ghost Rider can make a weapon basically out of anything, right?
Hmm. Yeah, anything.
Could he could he do it with food?
Ah, food, that would be crazy.
I mean, but he can, right? If it's poison or whatever, right? Like he can make a weapon basically out of anything, right?
Yeah, that's possible. Even
What do you
even
mean?
rocks.
Well, when we talk about the Doritos earlier, right? I was wondering, like, if Ghost Rider, he could make them in, like, he could throw them and turn them into bullets, or he could basically make anything and turn them into. He could just touch anything, and it can his power just manifests, and he can create anything he wants, right?
Yeah,
Or turn
that's
anything he
possible.
wants into a weapon, basically.
Yeah, that's possible. Real
That's pretty
possible.
powerful.
Yeah, it is.
So why can't he jump on a Hulk and jump on a person and ride them? Is that still the? I don't get that. Whoever
Because the
wrote that.
writing. It's the
Well, they should
writing.
wrote it where they can take over anything and ride them. Like, I mean, come on, wouldn't that be? It'd make more sense
Yeah,
to
that
me.
yeah, that'd be sweet. Yeah, it would
Like,
totally.
okay, if Ghost Rider got into Star Lord shit, right?
Hmm.
Would it
Yeah,
be like would it dynamic or the like? You know what I mean? Would
You
it be
turn
able
the whole
to?
ship into a Ghost Rider ship.
Yeah, like
hmm,
a Ghost Rider ship. Is it, if he can do a whole crane, why not a go like a ship like that? You know
yeah.
how Don, look up real quick. Look this up real quick. What is the biggest thing that Ghost Rider has taken over, like as a vehicle wise?
Yeah, let me look that up.
That would like be the biggest question. I mean, you could be able to tell how much his power, how strong he could do. Because if he could take over something like really huge, why couldn't he take over? You know what I mean? Why his greatest weapon would be taking over stuff, right?
Yeah,
That would be his greatest weapon. You wouldn't even need to do anything like that. That's the most powerful weapon there is.
yeah, that is true.
Like in a
Yeah,
way, like would he be more powerful than Professor
yeah,
X? He has to
yeah, that's
be
true.
Omega level already. You know what I mean? That's all. That's what I'm thinking. So
Yeah, I think I found it. Yeah,
what
I
do you
found
got?
it.
What do you got?
Let me. Yeah, let me
I'm
bring this up.
curious.
Yeah, here, right here. Yeah, I think this is it.
What am I looking at right here?
Oh, oh, some kind of robot, a rogue
It's
celestial.
almost like a Titan, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we see how far he's stretching to take control of this thing with his flames and all. Yeah, I mean, take. Yeah, that has got to be an actual celestial, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, see the.
Whoo! The Celestial's pretty strong too, man.
Yeah, real strong, Masha. And it's massive too.
That's what I'm saying. You would have to think that that'd probably be his greatest weapon to be able to take over anything. Like you know what I mean? Like to control it.
Yeah, really big, super big, so large it could even be used to take on
Could
armies.
Ghost Rider take over Galactus? Something on that level.
Never thought that could be possible. But hey, anything's possible in the world of Marvel. But we do know what he had taken over so far that has been big. That has been his biggest, and it's right here. Now, hang on. Gotta find the bigger image for that. It's
I
the
got an
biggest.
idea.
Oh, and here's another thing he took on. Well, it's
What
not. bigger than. Oh, ah, Ted Brett's here, enjoying the stream as well.
Well, see, that's the question. What is the strongest person, the biggest ship, or what is the strongest thing that the Ghost Riders has ever taken over? That's what I would like to know right there.
Well,
Let's look that up. Ghost Rider.
I'm gonna
What's
get that on Bing.
the strongest? He took over.
Looking it up.
Mm, Phantom Rider. I gotta go through this whole website just to get to number one. I
Ah,
hate
we've got
that.
another one in the chat. Are you there, Don?
That's Fear Awakening. He's one of the
Yeah,
baddest dudes I know, man.
yeah. And then I think I'm funny. Like, what if Ghost Rider had a dinosaur?
Well, no, that's my point. You would think that he'd be able to ride that right off top, right?
Yeah, yeah.
He'd be
Yeah.
able to take over anything and control it. Like he should be able to, right? That's my point. Could like Ghost Rider could take over Superman, basically.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, if that were possible in the same universe, Sentry would be a excellent specimen to start with.
Well, if they even have a little bit of basically evil, I mean, let's just not even talk about. Let's just say Ghost Rider took over Doomsday or something like that. If you have just a little bit of evil, right, it would be able to take over him.
Yeah, that's true.
Fear said Ghost Rider take for the soul.
Yeah,
Brett, I'm thinking of dinosaur. Yeah, that's right. I think so too, man.
yeah,
A dinosaur would be a cool looking with the skeleton dinosaur. That would be right.
yeah.
And
If
that's
he
my
wanted,
point. If he could take over something that big, you know what I mean? Why can't he can't take over something that's a pretty big that's a big saw. What why is that saw even out there?
oh, this is what he took control of in the second movie, Spirit of Vengeance. You
Yeah,
know,
why there's no reason to be it. Why is that even out there? That
you
don't
mean
even make no sense.
you mean in the middle of the road? Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's construction going on over in the Eastern Europe or something. I
Huh.
mean,
Interesting.
yeah. Anyway, let's get back to Mephisto.
Sorry, guys, I'm here.
No problem.
My whole point is why
Oh,
can't Ghost Rider take over Mephisto?
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I like to wonder too. Hmm,
Unreal. Yeah, it is unreal.
hang on, let me get the next up.
Well, Don, hey, y'all too. My wife texted me. I got to go. I got other things. Been on here for an hour. She said. So, I got to roll. I definitely
All right,
want to come back talk about this. The more you learn, hey, trust me, I got some more questions. I
sure.
got a lot of questions. I'm just saying. But thank you. I'll come back. Got to get moving. Yeah. So
You're welcome.
I
I'll
give
see
you
you
like
around.
another half an hour guarantee.
Yep. Take care.
All
All
right,
right.
where were we?
17th century.
Okay. 17th century. And 1660 century. Oh my God. In 1667, Mephisto related to the tale of Lucifer's fall from heaven to John Milton. He wrote this down in his epic poem, Paradise Lost. In the 18th century, Mephisto encountered the sea captain Jost von Straten. This and corrupted his soul, causing him to be consumed by greed. He sent his ship and crew into a storm, killing them all. And he claimed his soul and cursed him to sail the seven seas forever, beginning the legendary tale of the Flying Dutchman. By 1775, Henrik Frost made a demonic bargain with Mephisto, but because he used his gift for good, he got out of his contract on a technicality. He later told his tale to Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, which inspired his play Faust the Tragedy. In the 19th century, at the end of the 19th century, Dr. John S. Ravencroft founded the Ravencroft Institute. One of the workers building the facility claimed Mephisto told him to cave the foreman's head in with a hammer. It's wild.
Yeah, it's wild.
During the 20th century, during World War II, Nazi scientists created the Dark Door, which was actually a portal to the Mephisto realm. Before he could actually unlock the secrets, the Allies arrived and the project was destroyed. One of the scientists, Thule, escaped to the U.S. and began the work for the government. Hoping to continue his work there, Mephisto was able to trick the scientists to believe that the door was a portal to the home of Real, an alien species that had originally inhabited the Earth centuries past. Mephisto manipulated Thule to sacrifice lives to open the door, which was in fact were just his demon servants. The modern era. At some point, Mephisto peered into his own destiny and saw that one day he would manage to secure his ruthless vanquished kingdom on Earth, only to be defeated by Spider-Man or his daughter. Because of this, the devil was tormented by the stupidity of his downfall, by the possibility of his downfall. And so began the long planning to ensure that this would never happen, tormenting the surfer.
Sure.
Mephisto had made repeated unsuccessful attempts to break the will and enslave the soul of the noble alien known as the Silver Surfer. In order to do so, Mephisto had kidnapped Shalaba and used her to force the surfer to do his bidding. I thought that's what Galactus did.
Yeah, 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 that too.
And I thought Galactus was gonna kill his planet and kill his family and stuff, and he was like, "Hey, I can fly. If you
Yeah.
let them live, I'll find you other planets." But anyways, that doesn't matter. Mephisto was shocked when the surfer was able to follow him to his realm. Mephisto tried to tempt the surfer with riches, women, in an attempt to corrupt his soul. However, the surfer was able to resist the temptation. A final attempt to try to corrupt the surfer, Mephisto absorbed the surfer into his mind. However, the opposite happened, and Mephisto found out that the surfer's purity was now influencing his mind. Releasing the surfer, Mephisto admitted defeat, but now, before sending Shalabe back to the Zenila, they got some crazy names, man, and the surfer back to Earth, where he was still trapped by the barrier erected by Galactus. His next attempt was to use the wandering ghost of Jost von Straten, the legendary Flying Dutchman. Mephisto used his power to transport the ghost of Jost into the ghost. Transfer the ghost of Jost into the ghost, a super powerful entity to battle with the surfer. What? Does that make sense? Mephisto used his powers to transfer the ghost of Joss
Form.
into the ghost.
I think it says transform.
Transform the ghost of Joss into the ghost. But that still doesn't make sense.
I know. Even back then in the 60s or the early 70s, comic book writers had their flaws on how it makes sense.
They're like, oh, he's a ghost. I'm going to use my power to turn him into a super ghost. What? Okay, anyways. Into a ghost, a super powerful entity to battle the Surfer. However, after the battle, the ghosts renounced Mephisto, who then began to banish the ghost back to Limbo. However, the Surfer truly understood the torment of the ghost soul, shed a single tear which broke the ghost's curse, freeing him from Mephisto's control and allowed him to finally reach his eternal rest. In his third attempt, Mephisto offered the Surfer what he most wanted: to be free from the barrier created by Galactus. He agreed and traveled to Zenla. However, Mephisto created Shalabai. Meanwhile, back on Earth, after a brief battle, Mephisto tells the Surfer that he would be free, Shalabai, if he destroys S.H.I.E.L.D. At the same time, Mephisto secretly replaces a secretary at S.H.I.E.L.D. with Shalabai in the hopes that the Surfer will kill her along with the rest of the organization. However, the Surfer refuses to hurt anyone, so he sent her back to Zenla. In the fourth attempt, Mephisto kidnaps Shalabai once again, and when the Surfer comes to his realm to attack him, he transforms him into energy and sends the energy orb out into space. The Surfer chases it. However, he realized once more that he trapped in the barrier around the planet.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that was.
Mephisto is evil, man.
Yeah, he's truly evil. Yep, sure is. Now we should head over and check out the rest of Ghost Rider's foes. One of them, and I'm sure one of them is who, and I'm sure the next one we should discuss is one we saw from the movie. You know, from the first one that he went up, that Mephisto had pitted him against. Just get that up. Here we go. Oh, excuse me. I think these pop-ups are troublesome. All right, let me get this up. Oh, Zatter Point Gamer says he did not know about Ghostwriter. Well, you're about to learn more once we move along. Now, for Blackheart, here's Blackheart. Centuries of murder in a locale named Christ's Crown in New York drew the attention of the demon Lord Mephisto, who used the energy of the accumulated evil there to create his son, Blackheart. Blackheart explored the nature of evil under his father's tutelage, clashing with and failing to corrupt Daredevil and Spider-Man. Mephisto and Blackheart once tormented Daredevil, Brandy, Ash, the genetically engineered Number 9, and the Inhuman Gorgon, Karnak, and Ahura, manipulating their emotions and tricking them. They were soon drawn into hell for worse torment. Brandy Ash did not survive, which is sad. In an attempt to be free of captivity, Blackheart made contact with Misha from the group Warhead and became the source of her precognitive visions. Eventually, Misha's squad, the Keither group, invaded Hell itself and freed Blackheart, who was temporarily in disguise the disguise of Doctor Strange. Mephisto sent Blackheart to Earth with his powers diminished to make him learn humility. Blackheart returned to Christ's Crown and lured the Ghostwriter to punish Wolverine to town in an attempt to corrupt him. The group eventually followed Blackheart into his own realm for a final confrontation. He would once again attempts to commission the service, using them to help him finally destroy Mephisto and take over his position of hell. Alongside the Grim Reaper, Blackheart brought Wonder Man to Mephisto, created a group of spirits of vengeance in order to oppose his. In hopes of killing him, Blackheart tricked and recruited him as a member of his group of spirits of vengeance, promoting Chaos the power to rule hell alongside Blackheart. In the end, the Ghostrider double-crossed and killed him, freeing the other spirits and gaining the rule of Blackheart's portion of hell. He was later seen alive and attending a meeting with Mephisto, Satanish, Hela, and Dormammu about a disturbance created by the newly resurrected magic, who was looking for the soul sword in the original Bloodstone Emerald. Callisto's daughter, Witchfire, appeared during the meeting and revealed herself as the current owner of the original amulet and vowed to take her father's place as ruler of Limbo and the seat of their table. Now, Circle of Four. After being cast out of hell and left powerless on Earth by Mephisto, Blackheart and his partner, the gargoyle Gary Oil, began finding a way to bring hell to Earth so Blackheart could overthrow his father. To accomplish that, they need to perform a ritual that required, among other things, 100 human souls signed over of their own volition. Therefore, they disguise themselves as humans and open a casino in Las Vegas named the Devil's Den, intending to make those who would be in debt to give their own souls as payment. Expecting his father to try to harm him, Blackheart killed Pat Mulligan and acquired the toxin symbiote and purchased a, a vial of X-23's blood to create a set of symbiote-clad clones to protect him, symbiote warriors. Toxin was later stolen by Venom and the Toxin symbiote was later stolen by Venom and Jack-o'-lantern at the Crime Master's behest, but Blackheart had already secured a piece of its flesh to use in the ritual by then. With all the ingredients at hand, Blackheart and Gary Orel initiated the ritual and tricked the unexperienced new Ghostwriter Alejandra into powering the Hell centrifuge they had built. A doorway opened and Hell started to spread through Las Vegas. However, Johnny Blaze left a magical amulet at the city limits that halted the expansion. Ghostrider then joined forces with Venom, Red Hulk, and X-23 to stop Blackheart. Upon being confronted by the four heroes, Blackheart used the Helion's mirror cauldron to create antithesis of them. Both heroes and their antithesis died in battle. But Mephisto gave the fallen heroes a second chance at life in order to stop his son. Following Alejandra's death, Dari Oil captured Zarathos and delivered it to Blackheart. He wanted to bond with the spirit of vengeance and use the power he would gain to destroy his father, but Red Hulk and Venom managed to steal it from him. The spirit and the Venom symbiote then bonded to Red Hulk, who used the Helion's mirror cauldron to create an antithesis of Blackheart, defeating him and returning Las Vegas to normalcy. In Hell, Mephisto gave Blackheart and Dari Oil a new chance to try and take over his realm, but this time beginning from a point lower than the last.
Hang on, wasn't that what Majin was talking about with the Hulk and Ghost Rider and Venom all at the same time?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he did bring that up earlier, Don.
And then also, is Mephisto really that powerful that he can just give whoever their life back at will?
Yeah, it's possible.
Like he could just snap his finger and bring anyone back to life. And it doesn't matter the level of like, could he bring Jean Grey back? And with bringing Jean Grey back, could he bring like the Phoenix Force back at the same time?
That's a good question.
But go ahead, you keep going.
Sure. Back with a vengeance. Sometime later, Blackheart, who had somehow acquired his cracked his demonic powers, manipulated eternity into kidnapping his sister, Mistress Death, and trapping her outside himself, making dying impossible across the entire universe with chaos caused by Death's disappearance. Blackheart possessed Black Talon, who was helping Deadpool and Thanos in their quest of saving Mistress Death in order to invade Hell without his father's knowledge. When the time came, he got out of Black Talon and battled Mephisto to take over his realm. However, his plan eventually failed as Deadpool rescued Mistress Death, returning the universe to its natural order. Now, Chicago's gang war. Blackheart attempted to claim the Earth as his own, fighting the Avengers and defeating them effortlessly. His plan was thwarted by Spider-Man, Miles Morales, whose Venom Blast attack took Blackheart by surprise and forced him to retreat. Blackheart's subsequent approach to the world's subjugation was much more subtle. He disguised himself as the mayor of Chicago and worked in secret with Gray, the leader of the city's biggest gang, the South Stone Rangers, to incite and accept and exacerbate violence. Blackheart's endgame was to turn the whole city into epicenter of humanity's downfall, causing mankind to destroy itself and leave the planet ready for reaping. Blackheart was opposed by Falcon and his apprentice Patriot, who attempted to control the riot. Blackheart used his snare to have Falcon and Patriot arrested and tried to dispose of them after revealing his true nature. However, they were rescued by Dr. Voodoo. When Falcon confronted Blackheart again, the demon unceremoniously ripped his soul straight from his body and sent him to hell. He was saved by the combined efforts of his allies. During Falcon's third confrontation against Blackheart, Gray turned against his ally and killed himself. Using the key of Abaddon gifted to him by Blackheart himself to force Blackheart back to hell, putting an end to his scheme in the magically fueled riot. Blackheart was taken by Mephisto's lackeys for punishment, but his father assured him he was already planning Falcon's death since Mephisto had already feuded with him for escaping his domain. Against the champions, being held by Mephisto, Blackheart became privy to his father's latest scheme, as he had given the younger Spider-Man and his champion teammate Braun a chance to go back in time to save their teammates Miss Marvel and Viv Vision from dying at the hands of Zep. Knowing the guilt of letting an innocent die because of it would tear them up inside. However, Blackheart wasn't satisfied and went after the other champions, starting with Ironheart, who had been pushing away Viv due to the synthezoid apparently having feelings for her. As he took control of the newer members of the team, he had them attack original members. The plan ended up backfiring, and it ended up strengthening their bonds as Miss Marvel revealed her identity to Spider-Man and the repowered younger Nova. While Spider-Man and Braun overcame their grief making their decision, the champions freed their teammates and united to defeat Blackheart. Furious over having his plans for the younger Spider-Man thwarted by his son ineptitude, Mephisto captured and dragged Blackheart back to his realm. Yeah, what? Yeah, you wonder. Yeah, quite a never-ending cycle. Oh, careful. Anyway, let me get back to Shiny Touch. Because there's another villain I like to. There's two. There's at least two or three more I like to do to check on. All right. Scroll down here, and here we go. Now we're on Blackout, the archenemy of Denny Ketch. Yeah, Blackout. All right, take it away. Come on.
All right,
Feel free to
Blackout.
read.
Origins. Blackout is a demonic being known as Lilin, a race of demons spawned by Lilith, the self-professed mother of demons. He is an immortal or extremely long-lived. It is ex- it is undetermined if it is undetermined if the first generation of Lilins were demon human hybrids, the result of Lilith mating with other demons, or creations of some other type. Lilith and her children led the campaign of terror and death against humanity. But at some point, Atlantean magicians incarcerated her within the belly of a leviathan, which many of Lilins were killed off by their adversaries. Some survived, either escaping the dimension or assimilating themselves into humanity. For thousands of years, Lilith's children's awaiting her return. Ghostrider. Initially employed by the demonic crime lord Deathwatch, he fought the Ghostrider, Danny Ketch, and was disfigured in battle. He was scorched by hellfire while trying to bite through Ghostrider's jacket. This encouraged him to become Ghostrider's sworn archenemy.
Yep. Yeah, it certainly did.
At New York University Medical Center, Blackout snuck in and killed a janitor that worked his way towards a specific room. He located the room of Barbara Ketch and began telling her that he knew all about her brother and that he had been watching him, and he knew that he was the Ghostrider. He was planning on causing Dan unendurable pain, beginning with her, and then killed her. Blackout continued following Dan, killing people that he met with, including Ted Larson, his priest, Father McDonald. Ghostrider was out riding, trying to find out what was going on, when he came across a couple of Morlocks. One of Blackout's earliest victims were sent to investigate why there was a major blockage and discovered dozens of bodies, causing the problem. But before they could get out, Blackout added two more bodies to the pile. Blackout visited Death Watch to inform him of his progress. Death Watch then called Hart to tell them to ready their trap. Ghostrider, Johnny Blaze, Hart, Blackout, and Death Watch men all collided in Central Park. In the end, Blackout was stopped when John shot Ghostrider while he was holding Blackout, resulting in Blackout's face being further burned. Blackout killed Danny Ketch, trapping the Ghostrider on the mortal plane. Hang on a second. Ghostrider, Johnny Blaze, Hart, Blackout, and Death Watch.
Death Watch's men.
And so Ghostrider was holding Blackout. Johnny shot Ghostrider and Blackout. Why would that trap him on the mortal plane? Wouldn't that just free him?
Yeah, that's kind of strange too.
It's bad writing, I think. Anyways, trapping him on the mortal plane. The return of Lilith. Lilith found a way to return to the mortal plane. Around this time, Blackout went on a murderous rampage through Central Park, leading to a hostage situation with the police. He later became allied with Lilith, the demonic goddess who claimed she was the great grandmother. Blackout teamed up with many superpowered offspring of Lilith, all doing her will. Lilith had Pilgrim lead her to one of the lost children. Skinner was married and her son now, but she demanded that he fulfill his obligations. So he killed his family and went on to hunt for Blaze. Meanwhile, Ghost Rider was continuing to hunt down Nakato, you shall know pain, who is being transported around the Pilgrim to act as bait for Ghost Rider. In Greenland, Lilith had regenerated her slain children inside her, but she needed one of them to help her give birth. So she killed out to the world. Outcast answered his mother's call and slashed her open. Her previously consumed children were reborn, more powerful than before. Blackout Pilgrims Blackout and Pilgrims headed out immediately to kill Ghost Rider. They intercepted him and Seer on their way to the nightclub. They were caught by surprise, and Blackout threatened Ghost Rider with killing Mrs. Ketchigan, and Pilgrim took them to the forest hills. There, Blackout held her hostage, but Ghost Rider once again managed to drive them off, only to have Centurius arrive and Mrs. Ketch for himself tell Ghost Rider that he would have to find him if he wanted to see her alive again. What?
Hmm.
Ghost Rider once again managed to drive them off, only to have Centurius arrive and take Mrs. Kirch for himself, telling Ghost Rider that he would have to find him if he wanted to see her alive again. Okay. Doctor Strange. Sometimes I'm a little slow. I gotta read things twice slowly.
Yeah, it's kind of a lot of work too.
Doctor Strange and the Midnight Suns were besieged at Doc's sanctum. When Doc tried to freeze time, Lilith interfered and split him into 3 entities. Sister Nil killed Emmy, and Doc had to destroy his own sanctum. Black, Dark Legion, and Meat Market attacked Vengeance Police Precinct. He then went after Ketch's friend Stacy Dolan. They were distracted at the arrival of Doctor Strange's other Midnight Suns. They cast a spell that protected people from being seen by Lilith. It nearly killed Morbius to overcome his dark Lilith side, but the Midnight Suns were hell-bent on finishing the job. How is Morbius Lilith?
No idea. I have no
Because
idea.
he became a vampire through injecting himself with the blood, right? So
Yeah,
he wouldn't be a Lilith through genetic. He would have been adopted, right?
yeah, something like that.
Burning to death. Linda Wee tired of Blackout manipulating her and alerted Ghost Rider to where his next attack would be. Ghost Rider managed to save the family, but on the evening news broadcast, Linda confessed everything and attempted to kill herself with a gun. She was stopped by Blackout from killing herself, but then he turned around and killed her himself on live TV. He was finally captured by Ghost Rider, hoisted and chained over the World Trade Center, where he thought to have been burned to death.
Yeah,
Raft. Uh-oh.
yeah, yep, yeah. That's him being dragged up the World Trade Center. Yeah,
It's
he's weak against
burn.
the
I
light.
can't. It burns.
Yeah,
He, however, survived and was locked
okay.
maximum security prison, the Raft. Much later was seen among the escaping villains in the prison's breakout at the Raft. Hood's gang. He joined the Hood Central Army. It was created to take advantage of the chaos created due to the Superhuman Registry Act. He was active with the group during the secret invasions of the Skrulls, where they worked with the heroes to defeat the alien army. He worked with the team on various missions, including facing the new Avengers. Zad
All right.
Kale.
Yeah.
Blackout
Black.
was.
Yeah. Continue.
Oh, you can do it if you want. I can keep reading if you want, though, too. It doesn't matter.
Sure. Zadkiel. Blackout was recruited by the fallen angel Zadkiel and helped in Danny Cash's attack and murder of the caretaker before battling Johnny Blaze. He later assembled a task force of Ghost Rider foes in order to hunt down and destroy both the Catch and Blaze Ghost Riders. Later he attacked a church filled with gun-armed nuns alongside Orb, Deacon, and the New Vengeance. He cloaked the place in darkness, threatening and mocking the nun, but was stopped by being shot with bullets covered in holy water. Blackout ran away, screaming in pain, into the night. Sage. He and the rest of the Hood crew took part in the siege of Asgard. He was arrested along with the rest of the gang. He was imprisoned back in the raft. Spirit Stuff. Blackout and Deathwatch later joined the DOA Department of Occult Affairs and worked with Scotty in attacking the town of Dayton, Ohio. Alejandra Jones became the new Ghost Rider, was able to defeat the demonic duo. He later returned to fight an army of heroes facing sin. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Alejandro at all.
Yeah. Might want to look into her. Yeah. Here, yeah, this is her. Alejandra. Yep. The
Is
next
that her
Ghost Rider to look
location?
over. Yeah, that's her.
That's pretty dope looking.
Alejandra Jones is the daughter of an American human trafficker and an unknown Mexican woman. Like her brothers and sisters, Alejandra was sold by her father and ended up with Adam in Nicaragua, where she. Yeah. Oh, hang on.
How are they trained to become
Okay.
Ghost Rider?
But, yeah. Orphans were trained within the confines of the temple to become the next Ghost Rider. Adam was later able to convince Johnny Blaze, the current Ghost Rider, to give up the curse. Adam then resurrected the Seeker to choose the next Ghost Rider. Alejandra was chosen and sent to Dayton, Ohio to fight Sketty, daughter of the Red Skull, and the Serpent's loyal subject. Alejandra put up a good fight but was ultimately defeated. Meanwhile, Johnny Blaze learned from mephisto that Adam's ultimate goal was to wipe all sin from humanity, effectively turn humanity into mindless, emotionless beings. Blaze, feeling guilty for selfishly giving up the curse, agreed to help him separate Ghost Rider from Adam. Shortly after Alejandra and Adam returned to the temple, he ordered her to extinguish the sin from her fellow students. When she refused, Adam enslaved her. When Blaze arrived, he and the Seeker, who disagreed with Adam's plan, joined sides to stop him. Adam turned Alejandra into a bomb of sorts that, after exploding, wiped the sins of everyone in Nicaragua, save for Blaze and the save for Blaze and the Seeker, who grabbed Blaze and used his ability to nullify Ghostwriter's power to protect him from the blast. Adam then took the Ghost Rider to Cape Canaveral to board the space shuttle and flew to a space station. On board, Adams told her that he wanted her to focus all her power to magnify its growth through the space station's camera lens so that it could reach across Earth. Johnny Blaze, having made a deal with Mephisto for a fight he could use to fly into space, took the Seeker up with him to the space station, but realizing he was going to use her as a weapon, he jettisoned himself from the bus, sending him back to Earth. Blaze was too late to stop Adam from forcing Alexandra to release all her power, but tried to get her to take control of it. His words touched her as she was able to overcome Adam's influence and blew up the spaceship. Alejandra saved Blaze, and they returned to Earth, seeking to give the Nicaraguans their souls back. Alejandra drove off without Blaze, not wanting another person telling her what to do. After working solo for a while, Alejandra asked the Seeker for help finding a way to restore the corrupting soul. He told her that her sin could be found in hell, and that Blaze could help her since he was in contact with Mephisto. But Adam had survived the space station explosion and called on Steelwind and her dead sister for help in bringing the Ghostrider to him.
No.
While tracking down, Alejandra found that he was being hunted. Hold on. That was being hunted by Hawkeye, who thought Blaze, who thought that Blaze was to blame for the situation next round. Alejandra came to his aid, but they were both transported to Japan via a portal. Steel Wind and Steel Vengeance came after them, but instead of grabbing Ghostrider, they made off with Blaze, wanting vengeance. As Alejandra prepared to chase after them, Hawkeye struck her in the chest with an arrow with an amulet attached to it that could neutralize magic. Hawkeye went after the sisters to help them, but only ended up getting captured by them as well. Alejandra was able to pull the arrow out of her chest and defeated them both. Blaze decided to join Alejandra to teach her how to handle being the Ghostrider, taking the amulet that paralyzed her with him just in case. Wow. Yeah, that's Alejandra. Anyway, there's one more character I like to do before we wrap up. That would be the Death Watch. Yeah. Death Watch. Death Watch posed in the mortal world as a crime boss, Stephen Lord. His activities often lead to casualties that he then fed off up to empower himself. He also wanted to gain the position of the Kingpin. He also became an enemy of Wolverine after Logan encountered some of his men in Manchester. Death Watch's major scheme involved a large amount of potent biotoxins, enough to devastate New York and New Jersey. The rival gang had stolen the canisters and hid out in Cypress Hill Cemetery. Death Watch ordered his Death Spawn ninjas and Blackout to go after them and regain the canisters. In the ensuing firefight, Ghostwire Daniel Ketch emerged. Death Watch ordered Barbara Ketch's murder and other events to try to draw Ghostwriter out. He also tried to reclaim the canisters, but both the Kingpin and Ghostwriter continued to interfere with his plan. On one occasion, the Lord Ghostwriter. Oh, what was that? Oh, heck. Well, that was interesting. On one occasion, he lured the writer to an office building, then had it destroyed, feeding him with of innocent employees. He ordered Blackout, Snowblind, Bull, and Hag after the writer. He waited for Ghostwriter in a hospital where Snowblind was recovering. During their battle, Deathwatch was stabbed by the Ghostwriter's mystic chain, apparently killing him. Well, Hag and Troll made several attempts to revive the Translord Master, stopped by Blaze, Ketch, and Venom. He would return some semblance of life shortly, before the rise of Zarathos and Llewellyn. At some point, Deathwatch was imprisoned in the raft. He escaped during the riot. Deathwatch joined the Hood's gang to take advantage of the split in the superhero community due to the Superhuman Registration Act. He helped the group in their plot against the New Avengers during the battle, which he was taken down by Doctor Strange. Deathwatch and Blackout confronted the neophyte. Deathwatch discussed what to do about Doctor Doom, who had unexpectedly decided to become a superhero and become a new Iron Man. As the Hood brought up the idea of forming a gang of villains to take Doom out, Doom suddenly appeared and took down all of the villains present. He later participated against in an ambush against Doom along with many other villains that Doom had earlier defeated. He also attended another meeting to discuss the Hood's rise as the new kingpin of crime before joining the Hood gang once more and ransacking Castle Doom in search of Doom's fortune. Well, that was quite a lot.
It was a
What did you
lot.
think? Yeah, it was quite a lot, Don. Thank you for coming.
Yeah. It was nice. I wish Majan would have stayed for another half an hour, but it wasn't bad. He would have
Yeah,
learned about Alejandra. I think he would have liked that, the girl.
yeah, I'm sure he would have.
What are we talking about next week? Or what are you said and do you have it planned already?
Next month, I'm looking to invite Katie, Andy, and Peter from Hold My Tool Truck Reviews onto a couple streams on November 12th on topics like Donkey Kong, Captain America, and the new Scooby-Doo movie. Next week, I'll be inviting some guests on to discuss the original Scooby-Doo series titled Scooby-Doo, Where Are You?
The 1960s one?
Yeah, from 1969.
Yeah. I love that one.
Yeah, me too. It's the original.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll be sure to look for some other guests from other servers and stuff for that one.
Yeah, the way it said in the comments that I thought you said that you do it every week, or do you do it every month?
Well, every Tuesday, every week.
Okay. Well, I don't know
Yeah,
if I can make it every week, but I'll try to be here as much as I can for you.
thank you.
Yeah.
Be sure to subscribe to my channel and be sure to tune in to Hold My Tool Shop Reviews channel for stuff to look at too, as well as join them in the chats as well.
Yeah, I look at I go to their YouTubes, I engage with theirs, and I subscribe to their TikToks and stuff. I like their stuff. I'll subscribe to yours as well. I'll do that after this. But I got you, buddy.
Thank you.
It's good to see you. Nice to put a face to profile. So,
Yep. Thank you. Thank you again.
all right, everybody in the chat, you guys have a good night. You have a good
Yeah.
night too, Guarantino.
Yeah. And anyone who's left out there, be sure to hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed watching the video, and be sure to share it with everyone else on social media as well. Well, good night, guys.
Good luck, everybody.